Q2, week 3, and today is Tuesday. Number 1 says, circle the common factors of 10AB and 15A. Does 5 work?
Yes.
Yes. Does 5A work?
Yes.
Does 5AB?
No.
No, because there's not a B here. Does A work?
Yes.
Because there's an A in both of them. Does B work?
No.
Well, no, because we already said there's no B there. Does 2 work?
No.
Nope, because I can't take 15 divided by 2. 2A?
No.
No, if 2 doesn't work, 2A is not going to work. 10A?
No.
Because I can't take 15 divided by 10. Find the difference. When I'm finding the difference, I am subtracting. So I start with, so I'm just going to make this a number 2. 2x minus 5, and that's the quantity, minus, because I'm trying to find the difference, 3 minus 9x. The first thing you just need to do is distribute that negative. Do you guys understand that? It makes life so much easier. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take a negative times a positive, so that's going to be a negative 3. Then a negative times a negative is going to be a positive 9x. Then just bring down that other stuff. 2x minus 5. Are you guys clear on that? So then I'm going to combine my like terms. I have a positive 2x and a positive 9x, which would make what? 11x. Then I have a negative 5 and a negative 3. I'm combining them together, so it would just make it a negative 8. So I can have a negative 8 plus 11x, but it's best to always put your variable first. So I should rewrite it as 11x minus 8. How many of you got that one right? Okay, so I should see a lot of pens doing some work right now then. 3 k over 8 plus 1, thank you, minus k, equals a negative 19. Draw my line. Now, I have some things alike on the same side of the equal sign, so I need to do what with these two things? Combine them. This k over 8 is really like saying 1 8k, right? And this just, a negative k would be like a negative 1 whole. Right? Now, if I have a negative and a positive and I'm combining them, what do I really need to do? Subtract. So really I'm going to take 1 minus 1 8. So the 1 becomes 8 eighths. So now I have, and then 1 is negative, so it's going to be a negative 7 eighths k. You guys see how I combined those? And then so I have a negative 7 eighths k plus 1 equals a negative 19. So this now is my problem. You guys understand that? Okay? So then I'm going to get k by itself, so I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, or I'm adding the opposite, so these cancel each other out, and this becomes a negative 20. Then I have a negative 7 eighths k equals a negative 20. If this is multiplication, I do division, which is just multiplying by the additive, or not the additive inverse, it's the reciprocal. Multiply by the reciprocal, sorry. Okay, there's 2 sets I have today. Darn it. Okay, so then I take this side times a negative 8 over 7. Can I reduce anything? Nope. And a negative times a negative becomes a positive. So 20 times 8 is 160 over 7. So then I need to take 160 divided by 7. 7 goes into 16 twice. 2 left. I'll bring down that 0. 7 goes into 20. How many times? 2 times again. But then that's 6 left. So I'm going to have, it's going to be 22 and what? 6/7. So K equals 22 and 6/7. How many of you got this one right? What? What if you put it as a decimal? I guess you could have. I don't know what the answer would have been right now. What did you have?
It was 0.8571423.
So 22.8571, and then did you round it to at least like the hundredths place or tenths place?
No.
Okay. You can round it, and you can leave it in a decimal. I'm going to tell you for the quiz, it's going to either be the improper fraction or the fixed number. Okay? But way to get it that far. Nice job. Number 4. A 3.5 foot by 5.5 foot mirror is placed in a wooden frame. What is the area of the frame? So first I need to find the area of the outside, right? Do you guys understand that? I'm going to take the area of the outside. So area equals length times width. So I've got 6 times 4, which is 24. Then I'm going to find the area of the mirror, which is length times width again. So it would be 3.5 times 5.5. I better write that up and down. 3.5 times 5.5. Doesn't matter which one I have on top. Do I need to line up my decimals? No. You multiply and then you count your decimals. 5 times 5 is 25, 15, 16, 17. Cross off what I've used, add a 0. That's 25, 15, 16, 17. 8, 9. So I have 9. Now, 1, 2. So 1, 2. So the area of the mirror is 19 and 25 hundredths. So what do I do to my two areas? Subtract, because all I want, I took the area of this whole thing, and I'm going to take out the area of the mirror to get just the frame. So then I take 24 minus 19 and 25 hundredths. Make sure at this point you line up your decimals. Add the zeros, because I can't just bring down the 5. So the 4 becomes a 3, 10 becomes a 9, and this becomes a 10. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. Cannot do 3 minus 9, so that becomes a 1. 13 minus 9 is 4. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So it's 4 and 75 hundredths feet squared for your final answer for number 4. How many of you got that one right? Okay, number 5. 7 is less than 2m minus 23. Draw your line. Box the 2m. How do I get rid of the 23? Add the additive inverse, which is a positive 23 to both sides. These cancel each other out, and 23 plus 7 makes
30.
What does it make?
30.
30 is less than 2m. So now divide by 2 on both sides. 15 is less than m. But remember, you want to rewrite it with m on the left, so m is greater than 15. Write an inequality that represents the graph below. This is an open circle. The open circle is at a -4. And the arrow is pointing to the right. So if the arrow is pointing to the right, that means it's gonna be greater than. So x is greater than -4. Yes?
I remember that as -4 is less than x.
Okay. -4 is less than, I don't know what letter you said, but you can say x or whatever the letter you use. That's fine, but get used to making sure your letter's on the left.
Okay.
Write an inequality to represent the phrase, the product of a number and 5. Okay, so do I know what the number is? No, but if I'm trying to find the product, what am I doing? So I'm multiplying some kind of number and 5. So it'd be 5 times a number, whatever letter you choose. Is at least, so it's greater than or equal to 45. Because it says at least, so it has to be equal to or greater than. A school has a goal of getting at least 2,000 box tops. They have 872 so far. They have 8 days left to get it. At least, how many do they need to collect each day to meet or exceed their goal? So if I need 2,000, but I've already gotten 872, so I have to subtract the 872. I have to do a lot of borrowing here, and make sure you show your borrowing. So now I need to sell 1,128, but in how many days? So I take the 1,128, I should show you this number 8, divided by my 8 days. 8 goes into 11 once. 11 minus 8 is 8.
3.
Okay, bring down the 2. 8 goes into 32. 4 times, which is 32. 0 left. And 8 goes into 8. 1. So it asks, how many do they need to collect each day to meet or exceed? So that you would say they would have x needs to be greater than or equal to that 141. You can't just say 141. You want to say that it's greater than or equal to because it kept saying at least. So here's your answer for number 8. How many of you got 141 for the answer? Okay, how many of you wrote x is greater than or equal to that? So just add that if you didn't. Yeah. Go ahead, Cammie, go ahead and stop that. Go ahead.